my simple advice based off of that math and that example is to what's up, guys? So in this video, we're gonna talk about how you can get a funded account in as easy as 1 day. That's right, passing an account in 1 day, even with the trailing threshold, specifically with Apex in this case. So if you're a new trader or you just started looking at funded trader programs, follow along and we'll get right into it. So for anybody new here, my name is Forrest. I invest in stuff. I think that everybody should too. Check the links below. Big change, right? So actually I'm joining Discord communities with a good friend of mine named Soul. There's an interview on my channel. You can check out the interview with him. He's an amazing trader. He live streams every single day. We're going to try and work together, build an even bigger community. So Discord links going forward will be for Trade Edge. You can consider that even though he started that Discord, it is now our Discord. We're going to merge the families, and do some cool stuff. So a lot of stuff coming down the pipe on that. But for now, feel free to join that Discord. I'm in there just about every day anyways already. But let's jump in. So I'm gonna go ahead and record my screen and we can jump into it. So first thing you're gonna want to do is either, if you just want to do this from approach as a new trader, learning futures trader, go to ninjatrader.com, or you can go to apextraderfunding.com, right? So on this webpage, you're gonna see a ton of different account sizes. We're gonna focus on some of the smaller ones. The 50K and the 150K are both great account sizes to start with, but let's focus on the 50K for now, right? So let's look at this. So the contracts, it says get up to 10 contracts, right? So that's 10 ES, 10 NQ, up to 100 micros. You have a profit goal of $3,000. So we're gonna be trying to make $3,000 during the challenge in order to get this account. And we have a trailing threshold of $2,500. And then it also gives you access to NinjaTrader. So if you do this, get access to NinjaTrader, all you have to pay is the account fee. And you can see it's $167 a month. Apex has tons of sales, right? I'll put my affiliate link down here so you can get a percentage off. A lot of times they have 80 or 90% off. So you should never pay the full $167 a month. You can get down to $30 a month for these accounts. You can also have up to 20 accounts. It gives you a ton of leverage. So why are people doing this? One, it gives you access to capital that you can trade and a ton of leverage if you pass. So the key being if you pass. So we're going to figure out how we can pass this. Let's talk about this trailing threshold. So the trailing threshold basically means that your profit follows you. What do I mean by that? So you start with a $50,000 account, and when you first start, you have a trailing threshold of $2,500. That means if your account goes down to $47,500, you would fail, right? So 50,000 minus 2,500, 47,500. If you make $2,000, your account is now at $52,000. Your trailing threshold moves up with your profit. The moment your account is at $52,000, whether you've locked in those gains or not, your account got to $52,000. The lowest your account can go from there is $49,500. So they are essentially punishing you for not locking in profits. And this is forcing you to take profits. What this can force a lot of people to do is to hyper scalp because they're so afraid of getting close to this threshold, scalping all the time in a really big way. But I want to talk about a different strategy to actually pass these accounts. And that's what this is really focused on. But we'll pause that for now. So make sure you sign up for this, whichever account size you want. I kind of like the 50Ks, 25K is good if you're a starter. Just do one to start. If you've never done this before, just do one. I have a few 300Ks. If you fail, right, there is a fee to reset your account. Make sure you read through all of this. There's a lot of stuff here, but if you fail, there is a reset fee where you can reset your account, which is different from the monthly fee, right? So once you pass, you still have to pay the monthly fee. When you pass, there's also a one-time fee to turn your account from, a challenge account into a real account. And I'll try and find my certificates so you guys can see all the different accounts I've passed. But I've only ever I did some 25Ks when I started, then I did a bunch of 50Ks, and I've slowly have been rolling into just 300Ks right now for different reasons. But by the end of this video, you'll understand that you can do any account that you want, and ultimately it's up to you. And you really can pass these in like 1 to 2 days with some smart math. So let's actually go over to Ninja and log in and see what happens when you actually log into NinjaTrader if you're doing a personal account. So I'll just sign in with Google. So I'm going to show my balance here, which is actually not loading. I just funded this account last week. So this is my personal account. So I have all my funded accounts and I have my personal account when I'm trading. Balance here should be $11,826. Since Tuesday, it's now Sunday. Past week I made $1,800. It was actually up to like $13,500 and I lost some money on Friday. Not a perfect trader. Never said I was.
I'm not perfect.
Let's start live trading. This will bring you over to the web client, and this is what it will look like. So you will have some pop-ups here. You're going to want to make sure when you're on this screen that you're double checking which contract you're looking at, right? So I've already edited my workspace a little bit, but I have NQ June 23rd, ES June 23rd are both here. There are some Bollinger Band kind of indicators on the chart and a few other things. We have RSI down in the bottom. If you click here, you can enter do chart trading. This is based off of whatever you have up here. So if I change this to 1, select this, it's going to change this to 1. If I change this to 10, right, it goes to 10, etc. You can set at the money strategies. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, you'll log in, you sign up for an account with Ninja. You'll have to send them some money to fund your account, and that's going to give you access to leverage. Let's look at the actual leverage that you can get with NinjaTrader though. This is really, really important if you're not doing a funded account to understand margin and leverage in general. So we'll go to NinjaTrader margin, and we want to look at maybe this one. Cool little PDF. Get acquainted with this stuff, guys. I know stuff is like boring. It's not complicated by any means, but it's boring to look at. A lot of people get afraid to like look up this information. So here's the equity indexes, which is really what we trade. So we have ES, right? MES here, which are both the normal contract and the micros, and then NQ and MNQ, right? I trade ES and NQ. You can trade whatever you want. Doesn't matter. Everything that Ninja allows you to trade is here. Also overlaps with what Apex allows you to trade. We can see that the intraday margin on ES, $500. So that means in order to have one contract, if I go back to my chart trader, in order to get one contract of ES, I have to have $500 in my account. I have 11,800, which means I do some quick math, 10,000 divided by 500, it gives me 20. And then I've got 1, 2, 3 more that I can get. So I can get up to 23 ES contracts with $11,828 if I did that math correctly off the top of my head. So it's great leverage, right? But you can see the initial margin and your maintenance margin are much higher. So this is the amount of money that you need to hold these positions. Oops, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong line. So the initial margin, maintenance margin, they are much higher, but it's at 12,320, 11,200. So normally in other brokers, your intraday margin and your maintenance margin are this number here, 11,200. So on Interactive Brokers, you need like, let's just call it $10,000 just for some simple math per ES contract, which is a lot, right? It's tough, which means with one contract, one point being $50, you really can only get $50 per point, which is why I think Ninja is a great way for new traders. Now you have to be really, really careful with this stuff with how you manage your positions, because you can't hold these positions overnight, right? Your overnight margin, which is essentially your maintenance margin, comes up to 11,200, right? So you have to actually get out and enter your positions during settlement periods and things like that when the market closes. But during the day, if you're doing intraday swings and things like that, which is really how we're going to focus on passing these accounts in this video. I promise we're getting to that part. You want to focus on this number. So even if you just put $5,000 into an account, you have a lot of leverage. You can get up to 10 ES. Same with NQ, right? NQ is $1,000. So you put $5,000 in, you get 5 NQ. You can do the micros, do the math, right? But it gives you a ton of leverage in your ability, keep doing that, in your ability to get contracts for a small amount of money. So you've got your account. Let's think about how we can, with a small account, my account I just started with $10,000 for my personal in Ninja, how we can grow this, or how I plan to grow mine, and how you can pass and get a funded account simply. So let's look at the price action. This is actually the price action from last Friday, and we'll look at this in TradingView so it's a little bit easier to see. We'll expand this chart and we'll go to the 15-minute. Move this up a bit. All right, so put your thinking cap on and we're gonna do a bunch of theoretical math. Our trailing threshold is $2,500. We're on NQ, and there's a few concepts that we're gonna go through on this, which is the value of a point, basically how much the market can move against us, right? So if one NQ is $20, right? Every time it moves a point is just a dollar change in the price, right? So we see here, I have a green line at 14,056. The difference between 14,056 and 14,151 is 46 plus 50 is 91 points. Right, so this is a 97 points, right? So the difference between this is 97 points, which is just dollars, right? Each point is worth $20 in NQ. It's a leverage position, right? It's a futures contract. When you buy futures, you're betting on the future price of something. So if we just measure this distance here, we can see that that was in fact not what I said it was, 94.7. Doesn't really matter. I'm gonna do this math. Let's just say 95. What is 14,151 minus 14,056? We do 14,151 minus 15,056 equals 95, right? So we get that 95 number, but then we do 95 times 20, gives us $1,900. So one NQ contract, if you trade it from here to here, is almost $2,000, right? Every 100 points on NQ, or one contract gives you $2,000. This didn't move against us at all. But what if we were down here, right? What if we entered a trade down here? This price of, let's just say 13,925, come up to here to 13,993. So we go from 25 to 93. Do some more math. 93 minus 25, 68. We'll do 68 times 20, 1,360. So from here to here, we're making 1,360. We'll just call it $1,300. Okay, so our trailing drawdown goes from 50,000 plus 1,360 goes to 51,300 minus 2,500. Well, let's see what that is. So 51,300 minus 2,500. Our trailing threshold is now at 48,800. Okay, stay with me. I know we're doing a lot of math. Trailing threshold is at 48,800. It doesn't really matter where our trailing threshold is. We just want to take note of that, right? So how many points can this move against us at any point in time once we've reached a new height? That's really what the question is. Well, we can just do 2,500 divided by 20 equal 125 points. So at this point here, in order to fail, it's going to have to move against us 125 points. Well, let's see what 125 points is. 125 points is way down here. It's actually like right at this previous support area, right? Which is pretty funny in this case. So this would have to move, and we're at an outlier day, right? If we look at the range of this previous session here, right? This is Thursday, right? The range of the entire day was 181 points. The entire day, guys. We can survive 125. Was that the answer? 125 points. 2,500 divided by 20. Yeah, 125 points. This can go against us, which means that if you want to pass a 2,500 account, let's just say we can hold through 125 points drawdown. I'm not going to think about dollars. I'm going to think about points, right? So when you're looking at the chart and you're thinking about, okay, do I need to get in and out all the time? How much can I hold? And it's not about just holding for the sake of holding and like hoping you get lucky. It's about looking at the major trend, especially on a day like Thursday where we have all this chop up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. Obviously, the market doesn't move in a straight line, right? Friday, it kind of did, but that's irregular. Let's really just focus on this kind of price action here. This is more normal price action here, right? Do I need to get in and out and burn myself trying to guess every candle, or can I stay on this higher time frame and just hold through some of this volatility, maybe get a trade from here to here? Right. Another way to think about this is I can hold through 125 points. I need to get how many points? So 3,000 divided by 20 is 150. I need to get 150 points on a day, just one day, right? The range of this day was 175. So you literally could have just bought at the lows here on Thursday and you would have survived all of this drawdown, right? This is only 60 points here. This would have brought you back up, your account value. Very simple way to think about it. So many people, what they do is instead they leverage into 4 or 5 contracts. And if you have 5 contracts, it changes dramatically, right? So if I get 5 times 20 is 100, it's going to be $100 a point, right? So if we do, let's just say 2,500 divided by 100, now you can only survive 25 points of drawdown. Well, let's look at the range here. From here, 63 points. So you get smoked. And that's how people fail accounts. They're super excited because they catch this move up here. They're like, oh my God, I'm making all this money. They get out too early. They don't catch, these 50 points. And they get back in. They have a trade move against them. And it moves against them only 25 points. They get smoked, which on NQ, 25 points is not a lot of price action, right? Let's go to the 3-minute, see what this looks like here. So if you're trying to trade this stuff, right, you're getting in and out, you're freaking out, right? You buy this low, sell here, comes back, you miss this high, right? If you're trading 5 contracts through here, it's going to be rough. It's going to be really scary for you to trade 5 contracts through here. So my simple advice based off of that math and that example is to do not trade immediately, right? Even though I said you could pass in one day, get 1 contract, plan to trade 1 contract, and go for intraday swings. I will say that again, go for intraday swings. Look for days where you can pivot. You'll notice I start on the 15-minute and look for these intraday swings, right? Let's turn off these. Is this the button for indicators? Yeah. Look for these intraday swings where you can get a trade from here to here. That's what you want to do. Trying to trade the chop really going to smoke you. And this is the same advice, by the way. I was talking about passing Apex and how to grow your account with a small account. This is how you should trade when you have a small account, guys. Scalping is really hard, and you'll see me post a lot of scalps. Trading this trend line here, like you can go short off this trend line. You need to know when to get out here on the bottom side, know when to get out on the bottom side. If you go short here, you need to know when to get out on the bottom side. You got to be watching the order book. It's a lot easier to just say, I feel like we're going up because we're in a major uptrend. We can see here, right? We're in this major uptrend and go long. So now I'm going to trade into the trend and I'm going to hold into the trend until the trend goes against me, right? So if we get in here, down here, we're puncturing into the structure, right? A little bit. This is on the open as well. And then we get a strong reversal, a few bottom wicks on the 15-minute. We have this doji bottom wick. Boom. Here, if you're not in here already, holding through some of this, you've got to get in on this 10-15 candle and you just hold, right? And that's a really good way to just pass accounts. And that's how I pass my accounts, guys. I post some trades and it's when you do the math, it'll help you hold, but it's smart trading, right? And it allows you to deal with the threshold in an intelligent way. If you scalp with high leverage, if you do high leverage scalps, you have to be a really good trader, right? If you're doing 5 contracts, 4 contracts, 10 contracts, whatever it is, especially on the smaller accounts, or even on the 300Ks, right? Do 10 contracts on the 300Ks, the trailing is $7,500. You get smoked. Like, you get smoked so fast. You can make so much money. You know, my 300Ks, when I was passing them, some of them I would scalp, but most of them I would just do like 2 or 3 contracts and just hold, right? And 100 points is $2,000, right? So in one day, 3 contracts, I made $6,000. Profit target is $20,000. Doing $6,000 in one day. One, that's an insane amount of money on paper already. And you have to remember that you want to trade how you would trade anyways. So it's just good practice. I don't think that unless you're already a really good trader, trying to game Apex is going to set you up for failure. I'm telling you guys, it is actually going to set you up for failure. If you're a good trader and you just want to get another account and you already got payments, it doesn't matter to you. It doesn't matter to them either. But if you're someone who's actually trying to learn how to trade, you need to think about, one, if this money was real, would I be okay with it? If you sign up for a $300,000 account and you only do $3,000 in a day and you're like, man, I have so much money to make. Relax. That's a good number. $3,000 is a good score for one day, because once that's real, that's $3,000 you made on that day. Times 20 trading days in a month. If you did that every day, if you could, that's $60,000. So perspective and all of that goes into this, right? And in terms of starting with this $10,000 account, I imagine that this will grow pretty substantially, hopefully, knock on wood, because I have this high leverage, right? I actually missed all of this trend on Friday. It was a pretty annoying day for me overall, but like I said, I'm not a perfect trader. But I have passed quite a few Apex accounts, and it's really easy to do if you just do the math and trade smart and be patient, right? If the setup is not there, right, let's find a bad day. I guess it doesn't really matter. Here's kind of a bad day, right? Monday, May 22nd, tight price action, really tight compared to some more recent days. And on the 15-minute, we can see that we don't really consolidate in a meaningful way. The whole day is kind of just in this range, right? There's probably something on the shorter time frames, but overall, I mean, it would have been a tough day if you were trying to do this high leverage swing, so you'd be in and out on scalps. Yeah, so on the 3-minute, there's definitely some trades there, but you don't have to trade. So just be patient. You can make $10,000 in a day, but only if you don't psychologically damage yourself by blowing your account up the day before. Very often, days that are super hard to read feel terrible. The next days are easy to read, and you learn that through experience and taking your time and practice and being patient. You also have to learn to not trade. If you don't see trades and people that you're trading with or around see trades and are making money, that's okay, because I guarantee you on the days where you do see trades, they might not see them, right? So just learning to accept that there's a million ways to trade and everybody is looking at the market through their own lens and biases and whatever, and you just have to let it go. You have to learn to let trades go, guys, when they're not there. You have to let them go. If you miss it, let it go. Don't chase. And if you do see it, you got to learn to execute. Right. The other side of that is when you see a trade, when you see your setup, you have to take it. You have to absolutely take it. The only way you're going to make money is by being hyper confident in your setups and being extremely hesitant of anything that is not your setup. Right. If you don't see it, if you really don't see it, if you're like, just don't trade, just let it go. Like this. Oh, and then if it comes, you're like, oh, okay, write it down, journal it, and then turn it into something that you can actually be confident about. Right. Don't be like, oh my God, I guessed right. Right. Because the market only goes in 2 directions. If at any point in time you say, I think it's going to go up, I think it's going to go down, 50% chance you're going to be right. Question is, right, does it follow a setup where that you actually have metrics on that you can execute on that will actually create a green P&L? That's entirely different. But what else do we want to talk about? So we talked about margin requirements, trading. Oh, the other thing, different contract position. So if you're a newbie, let's go back to here. We talked about points. So NQ is worth $20 a point. ES is worth $50 a point. MES is $5 a point. And MNQ is... what is it? I can't remember what MNQ is, actually. Might be $5 a point as well. But look all these things up. I mean, there's cryptocurrency futures, there's, Forex, there's all these different things that you can trade. Don't feel obligated or locked into one thing. And certainly try to do your own thing, guys. I mean, find mentors, find people, but you will 100% do better once you actually start applying your own thinking and really starting to filter out other people to a degree. Once you have a sense of yourself, then you can start incorporating other people's kind of like perspective into your trading and stuff like that again. But it's a little bit of both. It's a lot of going out on your own, applying the knowledge and views of other people, then going out on your own, kind of your own thesis, risking your money based off of your own thesis in a managed way, and then seeing what works for other people. But yeah, that's it for this one. My name is Forrest. I invest stuff. You should too. If you liked this video, go ahead, hit the subscribe button. I hope to see you in the Trade Edge Discord and back here on this channel in the next one. Peace.